Vegas Lights FC back in action. $5,000 will not be falling from the sky as T2 comes to Sin City looking to share up their spot in the 2018 USL Cup postseason. Las Vegas Lights FC, it is now or never. Borderline mathematically eliminated as we take a look at the Western Conference standings. Tyler Terrence along with Devyn Kerr. And there's really two sides to this story, Devyn. Las Vegas Lights need 3 points basically every time out from here on out, as well as some help from around the league. T2, what a turnaround it's been since 2017.
They were absolutely abysmal last year, but Cameron Knowles has steered the ship in the right direction. The talk of the Western Conference for sure. They are vying themselves for a home playoff spot at this point in time. Las Vegas Lights not pictured there, but knocking on the door. They cannot wait any longer. They have to win out.
And the last time these two teams met, it was over in the Pacific Northwest. Really not much to be had in the first half, but T2 would knock on the door early. Big save there from Ricardo Ferrino as Las Vegas Lights would end up coming away with a 2-1 win. And it wasn't pretty by any stretch of the imagination as Kendall McIntosh stretching for that save. All 3 goals would come in the second half. It would end up being Omar Salgado late in the 73rd with a game winner. But this effort from Alvarez and then the finish from Ochoa was spectacular to get things going.
Driving out to Providence Park is a very difficult thing to do, yet alone when you're making an entire Pacific Northwest trip. But Las Vegas Lights handled it appropriately. They made some changes at halftime, were able to get their ducks in a row. Sammy Ochoa finds net, and then, you know, there was a counterpunch. The home squad got it back together. Great ball in from Langsdorff, Barbie to the far post, 1-1.
So 2 goals in 10 minutes. We would have to wait another 9 until the scoring would resume. Langsdorff, who's been one of the best scorers in the USL this season, playing the playmaker role. We head to the 74th minute. Omar Salgado, his first goal in a Las Vegas Lights FC uniform. It was a game winner and a stunner.
Absolutely amazing. Just unleashes here. The first one for the Lights. It was a great momentum pusher, and they were able to find some form from there, get back on track. They had been up and down, but it's good to see them still in the playoff hunt.
Las Vegas Lights FC looking to bounce back after a gut-wrenching loss to Los Dos a week ago. T2 comfortably sitting inside the playoff line and looking to shore up their spot. It's Las Vegas and T2 when we come back.
Have you ever thought about riding a Harley-Davidson? Visit one of our Southern Nevada Harley-Davidson dealers. Shop Henderson, Red Rock, or Las Vegas Harley-Davidson. Finding freedom just got a lot easier. Ride out on a new Harley-Davidson and leave the excuses behind. Now and throughout the Las Vegas Lights soccer season, you can sign up and win one of 2 great prizes. A pair of Lights tickets or Harley-Davidson Riding Academy classes for 1. Visit us at Henderson Harley-Davidson, Gibson and Warm Springs, Red Rock Harley-Davidson, Rainbow and Sahara, and Las Vegas Harley-Davidson on the Strip.
What is Zappos? Allow us to introduce ourselves. We're your one-stop shop for shoes, clothing, handbags, and a whole lot more. Simply put, Zappos is you, and we're here for you 24/7. Whether you need the latest and greatest in footwear or a new piece of luggage, we'll always ship it fast and free. Add to that free returns and a 1-year return policy, and you'll be set for a worry-free shopping adventure. So let us help deliver happiness to your front door. Shop on Zappos.com today.
John Barr! John Barr! You can do it!
I got drive like I work with Uber. Yeah, cooking like Curry, so respect the shoot. Your heart may harden the way I maneuver.
John. I'll do anything to sell you a car.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Zappos. Visit zappos.com/LV Lights FC. And Finley Toyota. We'll do anything to sell you a car. And Plaza Hotel and Casino, the official hotel of the Lights in downtown Las Vegas.
Las Vegas Lights FC and Portland Timbers 2 almost set to kick off here from Cashman and Sin City. T2 winners of their last 4 out of 5, and this is the start of a 3-game road swing. starting out here in Las Vegas, Fresno, and Sacramento along the way, as we'll take a look at the starting 11, which is brought to you by Zappos, presenting the Zappos Fan Tailgate starting at 5:30 p.m. before every match. Visit Zappos.com/LVLightsFC. Devon, what are we looking at for Cameron Knowles' side?
His boys usually sit in a 4-2-3-1. They are structuring themselves a tad differently tonight. It's going to be a 3-5-2 type system. Marco Farfan alongside Disney and Nathan Smith are going to get things going. And then for the home squad, you're going to see something traditionally that we have not seen in the past, a similar back line. The same starting four. Carlos Alvarez is going to slide alongside the other boys. Avila on the right, going to look to get down into the channels. And Matt Thomas making his return back into the starting lineup. Nice to see him back in the 11.
It'll be Samuel Ochoa up top as we are almost ready for kickoff here at Cashman. And we'll take a look at our Findlay Toyota keys to the game. Findlay Toyota is an official partner of Las Vegas Lights FC. For Portland Timbers too, well, they simply just need to find one of the best goal scorers in the Western Conference and in the United Soccer League. And then for Las Vegas, Devon, feeling punny over there?
Las Vegas has got to cash in. They have to find a way to quit relying on Lady Luck to get things going. They've been very good in the sense of putting themselves in some pretty advantageous opportunities, but have not been able to close out, and especially not over the course of 90 minutes. So if they want to remain in this playoff hunt, they've got to find a way to capitalize on all their opportunities over the course of the entire match. Foster Langsdorff sitting on 14 goals, still relevant in the Golden Boot chase, though Cameron Lancaster of Louisville City is going to have something to say about that.
Chris Cortez of Phoenix Rising FC also throwing his name into the ring as we are officially underway as Mendiola's delivery nodded away. Samuel Ochoa. Actually, the last time that he scored a goal was against T2 back on July 22nd as Matt Thomas stumbles over the ball.
Both the big number 9s up top are going to want to look to get it going early. Samuel Ochoa we talked about already. And Foster Langsdorff. And to say that he's been inconsistent as of late. For him, you go a match or two without finding the back of the net. That's definitely inconsistent. Hasn't been able to tickle the nylon for 2 games, although he did have 3 consecutive, so they'll look to Langsdorff early on. Nice striking partner in Jack Barmby.
Those two linked up for the lone goal back on July 22nd when Las Vegas came away with that 2-1 win. As Vegas will go all the way back for their eccentric goalkeeper, Ricardo Ferrino. Isidro Sanchez's win over T2 back on July 22nd, just 1 of 7. They're 7-14-7 on the season as Mendolia was held up right at the edge of the area. And he's motioning to the big center back. And he grabbed his jersey, and this is a very good opportunity. And normally we would see Omar Salgado on these types of set-piece opportunities, but as you can see from the UMC Health Report, UMC is the official hospital and emergency services provider for the Las Vegas Lights. Tonight's medical report includes the former #1 overall pick in the MLS Super Draft, as he is unavailable for selection. Carlos Alvarez will bow out from the set piece as it's on frame and held in the end. And a good chance in the early 3 minutes of this one for Las Vegas Lights, but comfortable for Alex Mangels.
Not bad from Daniel Guzman Jr., but good pace, good direction on it. Unfortunately, needs to bring it away from the goalkeeper. Alex Mangels had it covered.
Mendiola trying to peel it back, but the timing was all off. Garduño stepping forward. This is very similar to what we saw in the opening moments against Los Dos from Las Vegas. They just were not able to cash in until the closing moments as Mendiola finishes it off. Took less than 4 minutes. Raul Mendiola, who struck the crossbar against T2 back in July, makes no mistake about this one. And the Lights off and running.
All the hype and talk that we've given so far has been to #9, Sammy Ochoa. Mendiola, the forgotten soldier, doing a good job putting himself readily available at the top. Matt Thomas, good ball in, benefactor of a tiny deflection, and Mendiola just does what he is oh so capable of. We saw it at Galaxy, we've seen it in Vegas. T2 not happy about that finish, puts it on the left foot and just unleashes to the back post. And oh, by the way, welcome back, Matt Thomas.
Matt Thomas credited with the assist. It's the 7th goal of the season for Mendiola, who leads all Lights members in that category. And Lights goals are sponsored by the official hotel of Las Vegas Lights, the Plaza Hotel and Casino in downtown Las Vegas. Here's Ochoa on the other end, looking to make it 2 quickly. And he was about 2 inches away from doing so. And T2 just all out of sorts. Looks like they just got off the bus, Devon.
El Chilis and Isidro are going to be very happy with their boys so far. Nice long ball into the back post. Ochoa right off the chest. Tries to sneak it in the front post. See the goalkeeper sliding over. Trailing runs by Nathan Smith, who's been caught out of position twice in the opening 5 minutes. Cameron Knowles is going to want his back line to start locking it up.
Mendiola wins it back. T2 struggling to have any sort of possession. And Thomas committing the foul. Las Vegas very much a team that needs to score first if they are going to be successful. Although that was not the case against Los Dos. Alvarez thought about it, along for Miranda. Guzman, but poked away in the very end. Mendiola again, the flag goes up.
This isn't a bad idea by Carlos Alvarez, because he did have Daniel Guzman tracking right at the top of the 18. You saw the step over and a nice little toe poke to the Mexican. But he had Mendiola trailing on the back post the entire time. You saw him take a look up, should have released the ball, floated one to the back post, let Mendiola run underneath it.
Here's Lewis. And T2 will try to get a foot on the ball and find some sort of rhythm. They've been in a good rhythm as of late. 4-0 win over the Roughnecks a week ago today. A 1-0 win over Anthony Poulos' St. Louis FC back in Portland as well. They tripped up against Orange County in a wild affair with Thomasina Volton scoring that ridiculous goal that would end up being the game winner in the last 5 minutes. Before that, it was a 4-1 win against S2, a 2-1 win against San Antonio FC, 2-0 against Swope Park. I mean, this is a side that really has been in terrific form. They had their good run at the beginning of the season where they were sitting as high as 3rd place in the Western Conference table. Haven't had too many real highs, not too many low lows. They've really rode a steady train throughout the course of the 2018 campaign, which is a far cry from what you can say about them in 2017 when they were at the bottom of the barrel. I mean, they're almost like the Tulsa Roughnecks of 2017 when Tulsa was at the last place position for basically all of 2016, turn it around, make a playoff appearance, and really threaten San Antonio FC to the dying moments of that first round game in the USL Cup postseason a year ago.
They went out and reloaded from a talent standpoint. Consistency has been a big factor as well. Just getting so much talent on the field on a regular basis. Doesn't hurt when you've got some guys from Portland Timbers coming on loan to help out the starting 11. But over that stretch that you talked about, they've had the ability to not only play well, but they've been able to do it at home. 5 consecutive games in that stretch that Tyler was just referencing, but now they're going to have to do it 4 out of their closing 5 matches are going to be away from Providence Park. So though they're sitting right in that 5 spot, what are they going to be able to do down the stretch?
Ochoa, first touch lets him down. Quebecia. Mendiola appreciates the effort, but the execution was a bit off. As we're into the 10th minute, Raul Mendiola with his 7th goal of the season in the 4th. That got things started for Las Vegas. We mentioned at the top of the broadcast and during the pregame, just heartbreaking loss to Los Dos. As Efrain Alvarez with a stunner of a goal as this ball is whipped in. Langsdorff can't handle it. And the offside flag is up on Ochoa. Ochoa with 5 goals on the season. It took him about 7 or 8 games to get going. Scored his first against Colorado Springs a few months ago. But just not really the consistent goal scoring that we were used to seeing with Sacramento a year ago and in previous destinations along his career. As Ferrino comes off of his line, this one right at goal. Cleared away, Barbie knocks it into Garduño. And that's just Ricardo Ferrino doing some unorthodox things and making life difficult for T2 up front. And the question continues to be asked by all those around the Las Vegas camp is when Ricardo Ferrino should and should not come off of his line. As Marvin Lauria slips up, able to get it back. And last touch off of Mendiola.
Ferrino's got to be better in situations like this. Antics right at the outskirt of the 18-yard box. There's no reason for him to be all the way out there.
Mendiola leading the break the other way. Here's Miranda. And the foul's going to go against T2 and Zambrano. The Bullish central midfield, they're not happy with the calls. It looked like a 50-50 from our vantage point, but Zambrano and Raul Mendiola just getting tangled up, and our head referee, Matthew Franz, awarding the free kick for the home side. Here's Carlos Alvarez, little design set piece to Villa. Towards the back post, Wiki nods it across and it just fizzes wide. And that was one of those headers that maybe Devon should have been angled slightly more away from frame rather than towards it, because it would have taken something special from the headed aspect in order to beat Mangiels from that sort of angle.
We've seen Wiki do it in the past, so you can't really fault him here, but you're not far off. He's got trailing runs. Daniel Guzman wasn't in the act, but more importantly, Garduño was right on the back post. If that's placed even just a yard closer to him, he's able to get that outstretched foot and find the back of the net.
Avia. Here's Ochoa. Zambrano, excellent defensive work. Able to win the free kick as well. And he's probably one of the unsung heroes for this Cameron Knowles side, Devon. 23-year-old from Venezuela, just does an excellent job in the middle of the park.
He's the one who really gets the attack going in the other direction. Tonight he'll be alongside Modu Gaddama as well as Andre Lewis. And they'll just tuck in to allow Nguiano and Marvin Lauria to get forward. Marvin Lauria will tend to stitch himself a little bit closer to the touchline, get all the way outside and use that big speed of his.
Barbie's whip service cleared away by Garduno, and the foul called against Andre Lewis. And it was a late one at that, as Matthew Franz will trot over to make sure that Mendiola doesn't need further medical attention, as he's taken a couple of shots in the past few minutes or so.
This is a difficult one from Mendiola because he goes to air. Andre Lewis tracking back. Mendiola goes up. How is he not supposed to challenge in that situation? But still, sometimes you just step back a little bit. And he is in the final third of Las Vegas Lights, which means they'd have to retain possession. You'd still have the ability with the personnel playing up high to employ that press that we've seen from T2 in the past.
Mendiola, he's been electric in the early going. A little more than 15 minutes in. And it's his goal that's the difference right now. And this will really test the mettle of Cameron Knowles' young side in the coming weeks, Devon, as they will take their talents on the road for the majority of the remaining games. As Matt Thomas gets it away, he had the assist on the Mendiola goal. This is his first appearance since August 19th. Injury has kept him out for large portions of this season. But he's one of those workhorses in the middle of the park that can really make them go and can also connect the dots in the final third.
He's got some excellent speed as well. They haven't really been able to use that to their full advantage. Ochoa, Salgado, neither one of them really blazing speed. But Matt Thomas, a different story. He can do it both with the ball out in front of him as well with the ball at his feet. And they used to use him on the left side, but deciding to move him a touch interior alongside the likes of Rafa Garcia and Juan Carlos Garcia, Cabecchia, as he's so commonly known. See if that triangle in the middle can get things going.
Well, they're going to need to if they want any chance at a sniff of the postseason. Their last win coming against RGV on August 4th. That was a 1-0 win. Huiki with the late goal. That would stand as the game winner. Do have an interesting sighting on the Las Vegas bench, Devon. El Chalice and his son Isidro usually go with the all black on black, and El Chalice has done so yet again, but he does have a little bit of white print on the front of his shirt. We'll get a shot of it in just a second. Maybe El Chalice feeling that a change in wardrobe might be a change in results as well, as Marvin Lauria trying to find his way out of trouble. Garduno's clearance not nearly his best. Here's Langsdorff on the other end. Clips it across. Ferrino parries it away. And right to the foot of Garcia. Here's Miranda, but the offside flag goes up. What do you give that in terms of a grade for the night, Devon?
Bartender's special, 7.5.
7.5?
7.5. If there's musical notes or some sort of picturesque type performance on the shirt, I'd probably go higher. Just a plain black and white.
The musical notes would mean a higher score.
Higher score.
Really?
It's Vegas. Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, you're the fashionista.
Yeah.
I'm just the guy who likes to wear basketball shorts and t-shirts most of the time.
Yep. Do some laundry. Thank you.
Set piece opportunity for T2. Marvin Lauria, the loan from Saprissa. Excellent Costa Rican outfit, who's gotten some really high praise from a number of managers around the Western Conference. As Zambrano trying to find Barbie, brings it down, wants to get on that left peg. Carlos Alvarez standing his ground, but conceding the corner in the process. And Ricardo Ferrino on cue, coming off of his line. Alvarez, go all the way back for Ferrino. And any chance that he can get to leave the penalty area is one that he relishes. Alvarez again. Driving forward, looking to create. Around Zambrano. Out wide, Matt Thomas's delivery is an excellent one, but dealt with properly by T2. Wiki. Pressure from behind in the form of Langsdorff. Avila looking to pick somebody out. Looked like there were calls for a handball initially from Las Vegas. Those subside, and now a corner kick coming up for the home side.
Matthew Franz wasn't going to call it today. Not in that situation. Good ball movement from Vegas. Semi Ochoa finding himself alone again. It's exactly what Las Vegas Lights want to do. Find the big guy up top.
Matt Thomas again. Zambrano cuts it out, and Zambrano gets it back. The captain leading from the front, sliding it through. Look at the pace from Marvin Lauria, chipping Ferrino, and he misses it. It was almost an identical attempt to finish it off with the goal that he had against Orange County, but this time, unable to find the back of the net. It was an excellent run forward.
So many times we see Marvin Lauria, the distributor. This time he steps in, and look at the speed. Just blows by Eric Avila. And one touch to beat Ricardo Ferrino. That beautiful left foot so many times before, cannot close it out for the Costa Rican.
And it makes you appreciate it that much more when you see that type of finish at the highest level from the likes of Messi, from the likes of Harry Kane, from the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, when they're able to do it moving at full speed and essentially convert 9 times out of 10. It really is amazing, and they look so calm, cool, and collected every time that they attempt that. But Devon, in reality, as I'm sure you can attest to, I'm not exactly sure how many chances you had on a breakaway like that from the center back position.
Easy, easy, love.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
You're wrong. It's okay.
But
I like to play out of the back, but I'm with you. Go ahead.
But that finish is so incredibly difficult to pull off.
What you'll hear from a lot of people with the names that you just referenced is they make it look effortless because everything's in stride. There's no change in their demeanor emotionally. They've contracted themselves to the point where they just have to remain sound at all points in time in that type of situation right there. And you see Lauria get in behind, tucks in from the outskirts, uses that speed to challenge the back four, and when he gets into the one-on-one situation, tries to pick out the far post. Actually thought with the angle that he had, because Ricardo Ferrino had committed himself, he could have taken a touch by him. He had so much speed, and he would be able to get on the end of the ball. Elects to go with the chip, which isn't the worst decision, but the composure that we've seen from him in the past, just not present in this situation. Unfortunately, T2 gonna have to keep searching for that opening goal.
And for any youngsters watching out there, is it more so of what you end up doing or the commitment to what type of finish that you are trying to pull off?
That's kind of a trick question. Yeah, I mean, the bottom line is you want to find the back of the net. Everybody wants to make it pretty, and I get that, but Lauria, he did have two options. He wasn't wrong for going for the chip. He just couldn't execute. And he is a two-sided player. They'll shift him from the left to the right. Doesn't necessarily favorite either foot all that much, although I tend to think of him a little bit more on that left foot of his.
Ferrino makes a mess of it. Lauria again and again. It skips wide. He should have two at this point. Gets some love from his teammates to keep on going, but Marvin Lauria, especially by his standards, is going to be really upset with himself.
You heard me talking about the left foot. Tries to put me in the place where I belong, the naughty corner. And he tries to put it on his right foot. And as the ball comes back across here, again, questionable decision-making by Ricardo Ferrino. As a goalkeeper, if you're going to come, you better make sure you're either A, collecting this, or B, punching it away. Putting one hand on it does nothing. Lauria tops the ball, pushes to the side, needs to do better.
That's about the second or third time that we've seen Ferrino be unsure of himself when the ball gets to him. He's never unsure of himself in terms of coming out, whether it's the right or wrong decision. But we've seen him already tonight just, I guess, bungle the opportunity to either punch it away or catch it.
That's the biggest thing. When he just came off the line on the chance from Lauria, that's okay. It's not a bad decision. But again, if you're going to come as a goalkeeper, you're going to do two things. You're going to collect the ball, albeit 50-50, two hands, whatever it may be. You go in to win it. Or your other one, you're going to come and you're going to punch, which means the ball has to be pushed away from the threat. He didn't do anything. He dropped it right in front of Lauria. That's an absolute no-no from a goalkeeping standpoint.
Well, he certainly is an entertaining keeper, Ricardo Ferrino. There's no doubt about that. But in this day and age, and what we've seen from a number of keepers all over the world at the highest level on some of the biggest stages, maybe entertaining isn't the first word that you want to come to mind when you're describing your keeper. But given the situation at Vegas, Ricardo Ferrino is almost exactly what they were looking for. And he has made some incredible saves, a number of which have been nominated for Save of the Week in the United Soccer League.
That's the thing with a goalkeeper like Ricardo Ferrino. You take the good with the bad. You know what you're getting. The package has definitely presented itself in the past, and he has come out and made some absolutely world-class saves. But then the decision-making. You look at the thought process of a coach and see what he's doing, and you just kind of sit there and question it. But again, he does so well for you in so many other areas where another goalkeeper, when he doesn't step out, when he doesn't make that move, when he doesn't play out of the back, gives the other team an opportunity. Ricardo Ferrino has been able to push those away.
Lauria on the set piece. Look at that for a ball. Ferrino this time gets much more on it and forces it a little bit further away from frame. And good defending in the end from Quebecia, and a goal kick coming for the Mexican keeper. Again, Tyler Terrence along with Devyn Kerr. Glad to have you with us on this Sunday evening. And the final match day of week number 27 in the United Soccer League. We are coming down to the home stretch. Raul Mendiola with the lone goal in the 4th minute. Wasn't waiting for anybody to get started and to go ahead and score his 7th goal of the season. T2 have had a couple of brilliant chances to level, both in the form of Marvin Lauria, and both didn't even end up challenging Ricardo Ferrino. As he's trying to go over the top on one of them, the second, Ferrino scrambled off of his line. T2 currently sitting in 5th. Las Vegas, well, let's just say they're a little bit further down the table than that. As Samuel Ochoa having a word or two with Matthew Franz. But the good news for Las Vegas is that all systems are a go whenever they get the first goal. But such was not the case against Los Dos, as we've already mentioned. And that's an interesting one that's coming in from our producer, Ryan Rose, who does an excellent job. No draws for T2 when the opposition scores first.
All or nothing. All the chips on the table. We are in Vegas.
Yeah, I get it. I see what you did there.
Okay.
You want a pat on the back? Cookie? That's right, you're on your wedding diet.
Yep.
I mean, you talk about coming down the home stretch of the USL season. You're coming down the home stretch of this wedding diet as well.
She's got a couple months to ruin it. Don't worry.
Well, she let you eat steak for the first time in a while the other night, I heard.
Porterhouse is delightful.
I saw it on the USL News and Notes.
Yep.
Right underneath Richmond Kickers going to Division III. Devon Kerr finally allowed to have some form of red meat in the house.
It's a tight one over there. You've visited before. You know what I can get away with and what I can't.
You can't get away with your salty pizza that you cooked me that one night.
It's a mistake.
Inviting me over, or the pizza?
Inviting you over. But 30 minutes in, you know, T2 really need to find a way to get back into this and close something out, because they've had too many opportunities. For Las Vegas on the other side of things, this is eerily similar to what we saw versus Los Dos. They come out, high tempo, they get the early goal, then just continuously giving up opportunities to the opposing squad. That came back to bite them.
Lauria going right at Wiki. Lauria gets it away. Ferrino again spills it and had to be poked away by Quebecia. This is very uncharacteristic keeping from Ferrino.
If you're T2, you want to pepper the box right now and just continue to pound things on Ricardo Ferrino, because he is making the wrong decision time after time. Cameron Knowles is going to know that. He's going to tell his boys, let's try and challenge here. Let's try and put a few shots on goal and challenge the goalkeeper.
First-year manager, just 35 years young. Was an assistant from 2012 to 2017 with the Portland Timbers over in the MLS, and like a Brendan Burke over the Bethlehem Steel in the Eastern Conference, Cameron Knowles has just done a magnificent job with these youngsters in the constant rotation of lineups and 18s and 23-man rosters, and given all of that, still able to find his team currently sitting in 5th place, and Brendan Burke's Bethlehem Steel currently sitting in 6th over in the Eastern Conference, as it'll be a corner kick coming up for T2. And Brendan Burke just recently being named Coach of the Month for August, and more than deserved. Lauria, outswinger. Should be a foul coming out the other way. Referee says play on. As Ochoa really slow to get up, and the ball did travel over the line. Fans, in a week and a half, join us at Cashman Field for Service Industry Night when Lights face off against Orange County SC on Wednesday, September 26th. Service Industry members, bring your Nevada work card or TAM card and receive a free beer. Get your tickets at lightsfc.com/September or any La Bonita supermarket. Well, the minute I said free adult beverage, Devon Kerr's head perked up.
It's little things in life.
Lauria, not a bad idea. Avila goes to ground, gets a piece of it, slows down Andre Lewis for a moment. It's a good ball sent forward and eventually cleared away by Carlos Alvarez, who is scampering back to get behind the ball.
T2 turned in their lineup card. And formationally, we referenced it in the open that they were going to sit in the 3-back system of the 3-5-2. Unconventional from the 4-2-3-1 we have seen in the past. We have seen them play in a 3-back system, though, so we took their word for it. And after the goal, that was not the case. They've switched it up. And they've gone back to the 4-back system. Farfan's going to sit at the left back, Nathan Smith over on the right. Zambrano and Lewis just tucking in behind Carlos Anguiano. But the reason they've been having some success in the final third, and you've seen more opportunities coming their way, is Jack Barmby and Marvin Lauria have started to interchange quite well. It's been very impressive from the two up top. Consistently going back and forth from left to the right while Langsdorff just sits and waiting.
Garcia gets a touch. And Guiano's pass cut out. Quebecia goes to ground. Ochoa can collect. Knocking on the door of the 35th minute, Raul Mendiola. 31 minutes ago with the opener in the 4th. As Ricardo Ferrino makes no mistake about that one. Instant counterattack. Matt Thomas bringing it down. Sizing up Gaddama. And he gets a piece of the delivery and a corner kick coming up for Las Vegas.
This is great defending from Gaddama. Nice long ball from Ferrino. Thought Thomas might hit this the first time to bring it across the box from the trailing runs that he had. Daniel Guzman was in there. And he elects to bring it down and then resets himself, and just good job making his way back, Gaddama.
Quebecia. Wiki on the header. Mendiola bringing it down. Nobody there for Las Vegas. Avila stepping up. Around Zambrano. T2 win it back. This could be dangerous for Vegas. Zambrano looking to send Foster Langsdorff on his way. Lewis. Matthew Franz had a front row view. No call. Alvarez out of the infield into T2 territory. Still Carlos Alvarez, and last touch. Matthew Franz is claiming, as well as the assistant referee, that it was off of the captain, Mr. Alvarez, who saw his younger brother Efrain steal the show last weekend. And what a finish it was from young Efrain.
He is impressive. Every time we see him strap on his boots, he is capable of something special.
Doesn't strap him on for Los Dos all that often, but I mean, his goals per game ratio is just flat out ridiculous.
You have to wonder who's better, his or Carlton Belmar. That'd be a fun one to look up.
Didier Drogba?
Well, that's just not fair.
Lauria right into the hands of Ferrino. Phoenix Rising taking full control of first place in the Western Conference, but Orange County trying to have something to say about that as they travel to Chuck Chansey tonight and taking on Adam Smith's Fresno Foxes. So I'm sure all Phoenix Rising fans will be rooting for Fresno for the full 90 minutes, as this one had to be dealt with by the T2 back line, and Las Vegas with another corner. As we're approaching the 38th minute of play, Las Vegas looking good. T2 trying to respond after the opening goal from Mendiola in the 4th minute.
In this day and age, it's so easy to point a finger at the attacking players and say, I want to be like him, but you really have to give credit to Nathan Smith and the defending crew. That has been T2 this evening. It is a very, very dangerous ball played to the back post. Nathan Smith takes one peek over his shoulder, doesn't get to look the other side, just knocks it over the end line.
Quebecia, Wiki on the header, just over the bar. Great opportunity to double their lead. And Devin, we saw this in the RGV game where they bring over one of their larger players or one of the better players technically, as we just saw Quebecia and Carlos Alvarez on top of the corner. The second player is just used as a decoy. You see Wiki not getting the header down and challenging Mangels, but I mean, I asked the question to you back in the RGV game, and then wouldn't you know it, Salgado ends up delivering a corner that Wiki scores on, but is it necessary to have those two players? I know they draw out an extra defender, but it just seems like you'd rather have more numbers in the box.
If you're going to put a second one out there, why not use different personnel? Yeah, that big body you're referencing, put him in the mixer in the middle of the box, let him cause confusion, be a part of that pick that we've seen before. But instead, you take this big, large body. Quebecia has been in there. Garduño has been out there as well. There's no need for it. Use one of the smaller guys, Matt Thomas. I mean, at this level, pretty much anybody can whip a ball into the box if need be.
Quebecia, the touch comes in and it just flies wide. It was Miranda again. It was really clever. All it needed was a deflection.
This is good stuff from Las Vegas Lights. I say anybody can whip a ball in. This is a dangerous one put in. Daniel Guzman Jr., Zlatan-esque with his flick to the back post.
Mendiola not on the same page as Miranda as Garduno clears it away. Lights season ticket holders, the first Lights exclusive season ticket holder appreciation parties was a hit. Round 2 is this Tuesday night, September 18th. Meet the team, tour the locker room, take the crossbar challenge, and enjoy free food and drinks. See you Tuesday. Here's Garcia. Deflection, back out for Thomas. Already has 1 assist on the night. But this delivery goes awry. Quebecia up for the header. And Avia can just see it out of play. And a free kick for Las Vegas, says Matthew Franz. Devon, after the frantic start and the Mendiola goal in the 4th minute, T2 had a couple of chances to counter. Thoughts on Las Vegas dealing with those punches?
Not very well, actually. They've struggled, and they've struggled in more ways than one. Again, it all goes back to the overlapping runs. Jack Barbie coming from the left. Lauria drifting in. And we've seen the one-on-one plays, but a lot of it's been the long balls over the top. Really struggling speed-wise, and as a center back, if you can't keep up with the forward up top, that's not the end of the world. That happens on a regular basis each and every day in every league around the world. You just have to make sure you're positioned appropriately, use your body to your advantage, everything come down to angles, and that's all on Garduno and Wiki in the back. They just have to make sure they're communicating with their outside back, so when those long balls are coming in, they've already made that step, or they've got shoulder to shoulder with the forward up top, push them off the ball.
Ochoa, not a bad delivery. Had to be helped out of play. Mendiola loves the effort from his number 9. And another corner for Las Vegas. Knocking on the door of halftime. All is looking good for Vegas at the moment. Carlos Alvarez, an outswinger. Ochoa gets there. It looked like last touch was off at T2. Indeed it was. And another corner for Las Vegas, currently sitting in 14th place. Alvarez again. Wiki. And he'll come out the other direction. That other match we mentioned, Fresno and Orange County, 0-0 in the 43rd minute. Running parallel with this one here in Sin City. Mendiola. Trying to spring Matt Thomas free. Excellent ball forward. Matt Thomas can't quite get around Nathan Smith, who, as Devon mentioned before, does a terrific job along that back line for Cameron Knowles. Lewis fouled by Garcia, and that'll warrant Our first yellow card of the match is Garcia shown mustard here in the 45th. We'll have 2 minutes of stoppage time here in the first half. Zambrano just dinks it over the top. Ferrino was coming off of his line. What else is new? Zambrano. Dispay. Not a bad idea from Langsdorff. As Garduno calls off Ricardo Ferrino and just thumps it the other way, but out of play.
You can imagine Isidro and El Chalice are going to have a stern talking or two with their goalkeeper at halftime. He has definitely put them behind the 8 ball more than once. Las Vegas Lights very lucky at this point in time to be up a goal. 2 golden opportunities for Marvin Lauria. He made a mess of both of them. And Ricardo Ferrino has continuously made moves that has most managers cringing on the sideline, and that is definitely going to be addressed.
Really is interesting to watch El Chalice and his son Isidro interact, or not interact in the technical areas. Both of them just sort of pace back and forth, never really crossing paths or having a conversation, but more so just managing in their own styles, and it is interesting to see. Isidro technically the manager, El Chalice the technical director. Quebecia. It's a thumping header away from Dispay. As that should do it for Matthew Franz. There you have it. He brings the first half to a close. 1 goal to be had by Raul Mendiola and Las Vegas Lights FC back in the 4th minute, as T2 took them about 10 minutes to wake up. Vegas maybe felt like they should have had a second. Meanwhile, Marvin Lauria for Portland Timbers 2, who's been an excellent midseason addition on loan from Saprissa, had more than a couple opportunities to get T2 back into the game. Las Vegas will head into the dressing room up 1-0. Devyn, your thoughts?
This looks very similar to a nice heavyweight title fight that you would catch in Vegas. Las Vegas catching an early uppercut to knock the opponent to the ground, getting that early goal. But T2 would have a say about it as well. They started to prove a formidable sparring partner coming back into the match, but these guys are going to have to go the distance in this one. It's going to be a long night. They're going to regroup at halftime, figure out exactly what the moves are going to be from a chessing standpoint, and get it going in the second 45.
Well, Las Vegas Lights FC not mathematically eliminated from the postseason just yet, but they need wins on wins on wins. Right now, they have 3 points in their back pocket and 45 minutes to go. It's 1-0 to the Lights as we head to the halftime show.
Have you ever thought about riding a Harley Davidson? Visit one of our Southern Nevada Harley Davidson dealers. Shop Henderson, Red Rock, or Las Vegas Harley Davidson. Finding freedom just got a lot easier. Ride out on a new Harley Davidson and leave the excuses behind. Now and throughout the Las Vegas Lights soccer season, you can sign up and win one of 2 great prizes: a pair of Lights tickets or Harley Davidson Riding Academy classes for 1. Visit us at Henderson Harley Davidson, Gibson and Warm Springs, Red Rock Harley Davidson, Rainbow and Sahara, and Las Vegas Harley Davidson on the Strip.
Universal helped me eliminate my electric utility bill.
Call today and get the lifetime monitoring and maintenance package included. Own your system. Don't lease. Call Universal Solar Direct. 702-710-1921. That's 702-710-1921.
Boston Dental Group, your place for friendly, gentle, and convenient dental care in Las Vegas. We offer you expert specialists such as orthodontics, implants, cosmetic dentistry, and even pedodontics for your children. Call us today to take advantage of our limited time offers. 25% off cleanings and only $250 down to start your braces today. Call 702-388-8888.
Boston Dental Group can help you smile more affordable to you.
Hello, I'm Governor Brian Sandoval. There's a lot of confusion lately about health insurance. Nevada HealthLink can help you shop for and enroll in a plan that fits your needs and your budget. Visit NevadaHealthLink.com to review your options and enroll.
Big intermission here at Cashman as Raul Mendiola and Las Vegas Lights FC clinging on to a 1-0 lead over Portland Timbers 2, who probably had the better of the chances in the first half, but were unable to convert. Portland Timbers 2 currently sitting in 5th place in the Western Conference table, and up next for Cameron Knowles' side is a date with the Fresno Foxes, who are currently at halftime against Orange County SC. Orange County with a chance right now to draw level with Phoenix Rising FC in first place. T2 heading down the stretch, Devon. We talked about it before, have a number of games on the road. They just enjoyed a really nice home stretch in the Pacific Northwest. They got 4 out of the 5 last wins, with the exception of that match against OCSC, but they have a tough little test coming up in the final moments of the 2018 regular season, and against some really difficult opponents as well.
What a run-in this is. Some of the most impressive teams, not just in the Western Conference, but in the USL. And if they want to stay within striking distance of that home playoff spot, a top 4 finish, they've really got to keep an eye on the Sacramento Republic game. Sac Republic currently sitting 1 point ahead of them, but they have a game in hand. The Sacramento Republic only playing 28, Portland finishing their 29th tonight. If they want to squeak into that top 4 spot, they're going to have to do some work, and again, all of it's got to be on the road.
Their final match of the season is going to be in the Valley of the Sun, and Didier Drogba's final regular season match for Phoenix Rising Football Club on October 10th. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas Lights FC, it's the final installment of the Silver State Cup. Devon, you and I were on the call for that last one, where Antoine Openo had the game winner in stoppage time on that ridiculous ball from Kaya Ben. And if the third installment is going to be anything like the second, well, it's going to be an interesting one. And this is the remaining matches for Isidro and El Chalice, and almost as daunting as the T2 remaining games.
You'd like to say it's more manageable because OKC Energy is in there, but even they're hot right now. Unfortunately, that ship may have passed as just ran out of games. They fell flat early on, but finding their way back. But regardless, you got to do a Phoenix Rising at Reno, at San Antonio, and then Braden Cloutier and Orange County Soccer Club. Just so much work to be done down the stretch. Bottom line, go out, win, get 3 points, go to the next game if you want any chance to get in the playoffs whatsoever.
Well, they can only really worry about themselves at the moment. Meanwhile, Kelsey Steele's got something to worry about as far as Forrest Lasso is concerned, as those two played a game of horse, had a little chat, and some interesting nuggets on Forrest Lasso's roommate, Jimmy McLaughlin. Really cool piece. Check it out, folks.
How's it going, everyone? USL's Kelsey Steele here with FC Cincinnati defender Forrest Lasso. So we're well aware of what Forrest can do on the pitch, so today we're going to see what he's got on the court. We've got a game of horse going with a few questions in between. So Forrest, you want to get to it?
Let's do it.
Go.
Oh, let's go. Oh, pressure's on. Let's do it.
We got an H, people. So you're a rally guy. Favorite part about North Carolina?
Ooh, sweet tea and barbecue.
MJ or LeBron?
Oh, that's like the Pele Messi question.
There's only one right answer.
I mean, I'm definitely biased, so I'm MJ. We'll go with Bang this time.
Oh, okay, all right. Ah!
Oh, we got a letter.
Okay, sweet spot then on the court.
Top of the key.
Top of the key, okay.
Oh, yes.
Whose play would you mirror the most?
Little size difference with Dwayne Wade. He was the reason I started watching the NBA.
Get out of here. What, only 5'6", 5'7" at 16, and now you're pushing 6'7" at 25? What is that like for you?
So being the small guy, I was like the run of the litter growing up. I was always the smallest guy on every team, and then once it started to grow, I would like to say I was more technically sound when I was younger and smaller. And as I kind of grew, I kept the technical part of my game, and then I also realized that I had the physical side. When it comes to the game, it's definitely been a blessing. It's a special tool or trait that not everybody has, obviously.
Killing me.
Needed that.
Being pulled in from that Cincinnati community, what do they bring to you guys?
Oh man, I've been playing this game since, I don't know, 3 years old. Everybody likes the game, not everybody loves the game, and when you go to Cincinnati, you can tell that there's 40,000 people that love it.
You're roommates with Jimmy. Tell me you've got a good story or two living with him over these last few months.
We've probably seen it on a few goal celebrations, but he's got absolutely no rhythm. He's probably going to hate that I told the world this, but he's, when it comes to dancing, this guy's pretty fun to watch.
Not short. Ah! Give it to the champ.
That was fun.
That'll do it for us today, Forrest. Thanks for coming along and bearing the heat with us. For now, that'll do it from Tampa.
Oh, what a save by Pickett! And it's slammed in by Alvarez. Takes the shot and scores! This is Nashville SC. Save by Bell. Stylish, sensational.
Awesome stuff from Kelsey Steele, as well as Forrest Lasso came away as the horse champion. And while I have Devin Kerr sitting next to me, how could we not talk about the USL Game of the Week on ESPN3? Nashville and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay not out of the playoff picture just yet. I mean, they are hovering right around, and you know, Al Lang hasn't exactly been the fortress that we're used to seeing. FC Cincinnati will travel to Richmond, and then Las Vegas Lights FC and Phoenix Rising, the final ESPN3 Game of the Week. Devin, what do you like?
You got to jump on that Nashville Tampa Bay Rowdies game. That's the one that's going to be in everybody's thought process because it's so immediate and there's only a few games left. But you got to look at exactly what's going on in the Western Conference and take a step outside. Big picture for everybody here. Orange County, Wednesday. That's a tasty one. Real Monarchs are going to have to go take on Aiden Quinn. How about Darren Powell, San Antonio? They were hot. They were not. They're back on track again.
And we already mentioned Brendan Burke during the first half being named the Coach of the Month. Cameron Lancaster, 19 goals on this season, as he is putting some distance between himself and the rest of the pack. Chris Cortez, Daniel Rios, Thomasina Voltson trying to have something to say about that. And Richmond Kickers, great to see that one of the longest running North American soccer franchises is going to be continuing play in Division 3 in the USL for the 2019 season. Excellent stuff from the Kickers as we're going to head to our final break of the halftime show. When we come back, first half highlights, stats, and of course, second half kickoff. Don't go anywhere.
Boston Dental Group, your place for friendly, gentle, and convenient dental care in Las Vegas. We offer you expert specialists such as orthodontics, implants, cosmetic dentistry, and even pedodontics for your children. Call us today to take advantage of our limited time offers. 25% off cleanings and only $250 down to start your braces today. Call 702-388-8888.
Boston Dental Group can help you smile more affordable to you.
Super good.
Jarritos.
Super good.
¿Qué? ¡Qué bueno son!
With rising electric bills, now's the time to call Universal Solar Direct to take advantage of tax rebates and years of continued savings. Own your system. Don't lease. Call Universal Solar Direct now. 702-710-1921. That's 702-710-1921.
At Chivas Fight, we believe there's a fighter in all of us. A mind that's always moving, sparring, and a heart that won't be knocked down. We are staying devoted to the fight because every is worth fighting for. On the rise to the top, hard work and success always shared. You fighting for.
Las Vegas Lights take on Portland Timbers 2, Sunday, September 16th at 8 p.m.
Brought down, shot, ripped in!
Join us at Cashman Field or tune in for all the action on MyLV-TV, Channel 21, Cable 12.
Have you ever thought about riding a Harley-Davidson? Visit one of our Southern Nevada Harley-Davidson dealers. Shop Henderson, Red Rock, or Las Vegas Harley-Davidson. Finding freedom just got a lot easier. Ride out on a new Harley-Davidson and leave the excuses behind. Now and throughout the Las Vegas Light Soccer season, you can sign up and win one of 2 great prizes. A pair of Lights tickets or Harley-Davidson Riding Academy classes for 1. Visit us at Henderson Harley-Davidson, Gibson and Warm Springs, Red Rock Harley-Davidson, Rainbow and Sahara, and Las Vegas Harley-Davidson on the Strip.
Lights FC is brought to you by NV Energy. Download the Lights FC mobile phone app today, powered by NV Energy. By your Southern Nevada Harley-Davidson dealers. Learn to ride or ride better at the Harley-Davidson Riding Academy. And by Boston Dental Group, the official dentist of Lights FC.
Almost ready for the second half here at Cashman. We'll take a look as to how we got to this 1-0 scoreline. 4th minute, Devon. Vegas wasting no time at all.
Matt Thomas, very impressive, using that speed and that big left foot of his. Gets a deflection off Nathan Smith, finds its way to Mendiola, which finds its way to the back of the net. Las Vegas very happy to get out early and often. Could only get the 1 goal, but did a good job. There were a couple opportunities by Marvin Lauria down the stretch. Wiki got it in the act, but just the lone goal.
It's a 7th heaven for Raul Mendiola as he's able to get the 7th on this season, as we'll take a look at the halftime stats, which are brought to you by your Southern Nevada Harley-Davidson dealers. Learn to ride or ride better at the Harley-Davidson Riding Academy. And Devon, possession and slight edge of Las Vegas. Shots on target also in Las Vegas form, but really, if you were to look at that first half on the whole, excluding the goal, you probably would give the slight edge to T2.
You would have to. Their opportunities were better, much better possession. The purpose, I like to call it purposeful possession, definitely there from T2. They dictated their own terms, tempo up and down, but they were pretty consistent. Las Vegas Lights came out fast, they came out hot, but like we've seen them time and time again in the past, they cooled off. Isidro Sanchez and El Chalizo are certainly going to find a way, with or without a personnel change, to start getting things going early on in the second half.
Well, the last time these two teams met, all 3 goals came in the second half. All 3 were 10 minutes apart, as Las Vegas trying to hold on to this 1-0 lead as we're almost ready for the second half. Tyler Terrence along with former German pro Devyn Kerr, glad to have you with us. Final match day of week number 27 in the United Soccer League. And Devon, while we talked about T2 probably having the better of the play and more purposeful possession, if you're Cameron Knowles in the dressing room, are you upset with your team, or is it just go ahead, get your stuff done in the second half and just hope that you can find the back of the net?
He's definitely going to have a conversation with them about the lackadaisical marking at the beginning of the first half. But they picked it back up and started going in the right direction. Some good opportunities. He's not going to harp on it too much. Just go out there in the second 45 minutes. Again, they were really having the better run of play, doing things in exactly the manner that they wanted to, dictating their own terms. They're just going to look to continue that here in the second 45.
Meanwhile, for Las Vegas,
figure something out. It's got to be better. Again, they come out and they show all this promise, so much energy. They even get the early goal. We've seen it 2 matches in a row now, but you can almost expect it for history to repeat itself based upon what we saw versus Los Dos, that T2 is going to come out and get a goal. It happened last week. It's happened in games before. If you're El Chalizo and Isidro, you need to find a way to make sure that doesn't happen. Lock your back line up. There is so much talent back there. There is so much veteran leadership. Take advantage of it.
And we did have 1 substitution at the half. And it was Victor Arboleda coming on and replacing Carlos Anguiano for Cameron Knowles. So some fresh legs at the start of the second 45 minutes for the visitors. Vegas will stay the same. And will tow the midway line here at Cashman like they're about to run the 100-yard dash. We've seen this from them before. Foster Langsdorff, a false start. And Sammy Ochoa and Langsdorff getting into it as well, as Carlos Alvarez will get us started. In the second half, Ochoa mistimes it, cleared away by the T2 back line, in the opening kickoff antics from Vegas, I guess you could say, fall short.
What's going to be interesting here is what they're going to do with Arboleda. Most assuredly, he's going to go to an outside position, but are they going to tuck Jack Barbie into the 10 spot or Marvin Lauria? We've seen a lot of rotation from the outside runs on the guys on the wing, but they usually do keep one person just sitting in behind Foster Langsdorff. Who's that going to be?
Look at this ball from Lauria. Both Avila and Barbie go to ground. And it's off of Avila last, and a corner kick coming up for T2. Marvin Lauria continuing to make things happen. This time threading the needle for one of his teammates. I remember a phone call we had with Rick Schatz, the manager of Phoenix Rising FC, Devon, right before they were going to play T2, and virtually the first words out of his mouth when we were asking him about what he expects from Portland Timbers 2 was Marvin Lauria and how electric he's been, and the respect that he had for them, and the fact that Amadou Dia, one of the better defenders in the Western Conference, had a really difficult time dealing with him. Ended up getting the better of him in the long run, but I mean, he has gotten some serious praise and has made some noise and a few waves as well since coming onto the scene. Zambrano, a little bit of trouble, and Daniel Guzman called for the foul. Andre Lewis, a little bit too much on it. Arboleda can't get there. But more good ideas from the young side. As Ricardo Ferrino looking to turn things around from the first half that he endured. Ochoa. Guzman gets the return. Andre Lewis just knocks him off the ball. Lauria again. And look at Ricardo Ferrino. Through for Arboleda. Back post. And Barbie unable to get there. Well, Huiki with good defending. T2 trying to pin down Vegas in their own defensive third, but to no avail. Now the visitors exposed. Ochoa. And Nathan Smith trying to just knot it back from Angels, and as a result, traveling over the byline, and a corner kick coming up for Vegas, the first for either side in the second half. You saw those statistics being dropped out from our outstanding producer, Ryan Rose. And Vegas really putting down the clamps in the second half. One of the top 5 teams in the United Soccer League with goals conceded at home in the second half of play. Quebecia. Won by Lewis. And Carlos Alvarez will go all the way back for Matt Thomas. And Alvarez is offside. Here's Lauria. Wins it from Avila. Marvin Lauria. Shot denied by Huiki, but continues to make his presence felt. You can see Zambrano was not happy at the edge of the box. He expected that ball to be pulled back. But a corner kick coming up nonetheless.
Zambrano wanted the ball at the top of the 18. Foster Langsdorff had made his way to the back post. He was furious as well.
Barbie. Back for Lauria. Opens up his hips. Langsdorff back in, and Huiki. That's really well done. Garcia muscled off by Zambrano. Pass was cut out by Zambrano initially, and then Garduno did him one better on the other end. Ochoa. Nice shot denied by Dispe. Not a ton of ingenuity from either side entering the final third in the opening moments of the second half, Devon.
Definitely no spark coming out of the dressing room for either squad. Although Victor Arboleda has been very active on the right side.
Here's Arboleda again. Sends it across, and Garcia cleaning up the mess, and Vegas trying to figure things out defensively. T2 still frustrated with themselves in terms of the lack of cohesion in the final third as well, as this one runs all the way through. Arboleda almost got a touch to it, and Ricardo Ferrino's looking around and saying, how on earth can that happen from a restart on a corner?
It's all about decision-making for T2, but at least they're communicating with each other. Victor Arboleda hijacked Barbie this time, trailing on the back post. Elected to have sort of a hybrid strike cross. There was a gray area there. And then the restart by Vegas was absolutely horrendous. Need to do better in those situations. T2 very unfortunate not to come away with something. Yeah, Ferrino trying to have a chat with Carlos Alvarez, who has turned into this makeshift center back in this ever-evolving lineup that is the Las Vegas Lights. Managers constantly changing the personnel around, moving the starting 11 all over the place.
Avila. Good ball in, Mendiola across, finished off, but it's offside. It was almost too good to be true for Vegas. And it's because it was.
This is unselfish play. Unfortunately, Mendiola in an offside position. He could have easily gone to goal here, but he's smart, plays it right back across the path of Garduno in the trailing run. Unfortunately, his body was just in too much of a progressive movement early on. That's why the linesman raises his flag. Still remains 1-0. Good stuff from Vegas, though.
Tell you what, Raul Mendiola, I mean, he's one of those players you could probably insert into every team in the Western Conference, and he would find some way to be able to contribute. Now, I'm not exactly saying he would start on the Monarchs, start on Phoenix, but he can definitely find his way into an 18 and find a way to contribute.
He's definitely someone who has been a regular influence in a positive manner for the Las Vegas Lights. Unfortunately, his manager telling us in a most recent conversation that, you know, sometimes the mental games get in the way for him, and he lets his personal life drift into his professional career. That causes some up and down performances. We've definitely seen that. He was able to find net a few times in the game of the week about a month and a half ago versus OKC Energy in that ridiculous 6-4 game that turned into a track meet in the latter moments. And then he went dormant for 3-4 matches where he's in the starting lineup, can't really do anything. We saw that last match versus Los Dos. They pulled him off at halftime.
Quebecia up. A little slow to get up. He's been a warrior since joining for Las Vegas. Matt Thomas trying to get the better of Nathan Smith on the turn. Last touch off the outside back. Andre Lewis just dinks it forward. It's a great ball. Barbie has it on his favored left peg. Looking for Langsdorff. Oh no, they missed it again. Another opportunity wasted for the visitors. Everything is perfect up until the final product.
Have we seen better service all season long than from the likes of Jack Barbie? He is absolutely amazing. And he does it on the left, on the right. You like him better on the left side with that beautiful left foot. Just hits this outswinger right into the path of Foster Langsdorff, who even takes time. He sits down, has a cup of tea. Just can't find the far post. You expect better out of Foster Langsdorff.
Speaking of tea, Jack Barbie from Harlow, England. Just 23 years of age, came up through Hull City as well as Manchester United Youth Academies. And when you're throwing names like that into the mix at a young age, you obviously have a lot of promise and a lot of upside. Things obviously didn't go exactly to plan. He's not starting in games at Old Trafford, but a lot of skill and is trying to make a name for himself here in the States. Lauria. Trying to get the return. Weekey read it well. Avila. Striding forward. Nobody stepping to him just yet. Avila finding Ochoa, trailing run. Sammy Ochoa parried away by Mangels. Probably the most crisp movement we've seen from Vegas in the final third. Mangels up to the task, and it remains a one-goal game.
This is exactly what you want from your goalkeeper. Knows that he can't get his entire body behind it. Just takes both of his hands, pushes it to the side. Textbook goalkeeping.
Sammy Ochoa still looking for his 6th goal this season. His 5th was against T2 back on July 22nd, as Matthew Franz will promptly blow his whistle and send it the other way in favor of T2. Glancing header, Langsdorff running onto it. He sends it to the back post. Barbie, Ferrino off of his line, sent across, and Quebecia breaks it up. But again, it's Ricardo Ferrino coming off of his line there that opens up the window of opportunity for T2, and thankfully Quebecia making a great sliding challenge.
Juan Carlos Garcia doing such a good job tracking back, but there is no reason whatsoever for Ferrino to come off his line. And then you have to wonder, we just saw the great service from Jack Barbie. Why doesn't he put this on frame? I mean, he has Lauria trailing in the middle of the box, but it's a tight window that collapses quite rapidly. He could have easily just unleashed one with that right foot of his.
And it's going to be Daniel Guzman Jr. coming off. Daigo Kobayashi, the veteran who has gotten the majority of the starts in the middle of the park for Vegas this season. As this header tipped over the bar by Ferrino. That's number 1 at his best. Reaction saves right in front of goal. Disbay can't believe it.
Quick ball played in right after the substitution. We've talked about Ricardo Ferrino and what he can or cannot do. That is some of the best stuff you will see out of the goalkeeper.
Matthew Franz is Stern talking to with Disbay as well as Quebecia, Weekey and company were trying to defend. Samuel Ochoa sort of marking up zonally as again it comes in the header over the bar from Gaddama. And it just could be one of those nights for T2 where they are kicking themselves, no pun intended, for not finishing their opportunities.
Both center backs in succession. First one by Adrian Disbay. Gets up, tries to find that far post. Again, another dangerous ball whipped into the middle of the box. Modou Gaddama cannot put it on frame. Cameron Knowles has got to get his boys in check, have a conversation, and figure out what they're going to do. Too many wasted opportunities.
And it's Juan Herrera Perla, the Dallas native, coming on. And replacing Matt Thomas, who gets an assist after coming back from almost a month of having to sit on the bench due to injury. Juan Herrera Perla coming up through the FC Dallas Youth Academy, moved to Texas when he was 5 from El Salvador. And fans, next weekend, don't miss the conclusion of the inaugural Silver State Cup. Lights FC head up to Reno with state bragging rights on the line. Catch the action right here on MyLV TV, Saturday, September 22nd at 7 p.m. And what an opportunity that'll be for Vegas, Devon. While the playoffs might be out of reach by that point. State bragging rights and an opportunity to spoil the party for Reno for their playoff hopes. And always with rivalries, it's, well, if we can't make the postseason, we don't want our crosstown rivals to make it either.
You're spot on. It's exactly bragging rights, pride, heart, all of that comes into play. We've definitely seen a lot of emotion from Las Vegas Lights over the course of the season. Hopefully for them, it will have an impact on their playoff seeding. Though a couple squads coming down the stretch will have something to say about that. T2, over the next 30 minutes or so, trying to get involved.
Well, the live standings, T2 currently sitting in 4th. Reno in 8th. San Antonio nipping at their heels with 43 points. Reno at 45. Arboleda. Lauria. Goes negative for Lewis, gets the return. Forced to go back one more time in order to go forward. Here's Nathan Smith, plenty of time and space, cuts it back, whips it across. Garcia, the trailing challenge. And a foul coming out the other way. Jack Barbie, the culprit. Devon, how about San Antonio FC after getting a 3-2 win over the first place Phoenix Rising Football Club and then turning around and losing to Tulsa 2-1.
They were in a nice run of form. They had a couple good games in a row that they took down the Monarchs as well. Took down the Monarchs, Phoenix Rising.
Monarchs haven't won a game in ages. Ages. Far cry from what we saw in 2017 as Arboleda mistimes the skip of the ball here at Cashman. Lauria tries to knock it out wide, a deflection. Diverts the ball, unable to get there. And now it's Sammy Ochoa the other way, holding up play nicely. Now turning the corner. Wiki, out wide for the skipper, Carlos Alvarez. Looking to create. But even that ball too far for the speedy Raul Mendiola, and a goal kick coming up for Manjos. As we've eclipsed the hour mark, 1-0 to Las Vegas here at Cashman Field in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Raul Mendiola, the lone goal in the 4th minute. Tyler Terrence along with Devin Kerr as Mendiola puts on the brakes, linking up with Kobayashi. Garcia just knocks it out wide. Ochoa whipping it in. Alvarez, it's over the bar. Both teams refusing to score the next goal.
Good to see the captain getting involved there. Nice thumbs up. Carlos Alvarez, we saw him play a ball just a moment ago. This time he's drifting to the far post. You track back to last game versus Los Dos at halftime. They made some tactical changes. And I asked Isidro, why did you bring on Juan Herrera Perla when you had Alex Mendoza sitting for the middle of the field? He said, listen, we wanted to go in a type of a 3-back system. We brought in Herrera Perla, moved him into the back. Carlos Alvarez was their left back to start the game. They moved him up. They've done the same thing here, replicating their movement from last match in hopes with a different outcome. Carlos Alvarez is going to start playing a much higher line. Kobayashi shifting into the middle, and they're going to look to feed each other over the next 20, 25 minutes, see if they can get a second goal.
Here's Kobayashi trying to do it himself. Felt that he was fouled, but committing a foul the other way was Garduno. There is a look at Juan Herrera Perla playing that left back position, allowing Carlos Alvarez to move up the field. Gaddama knocks it away. Flick on header. Here's Barbie the other direction. He's got some kind of left peg, Barbie. If that hits the frame, it's in the back of the net.
He thinks Ricardo Ferrino got a fingertip on it. Made his way directly to the corner flag. The speed, super impressive. And his first touch was really nice as well. Gave him an opportunity to set himself up and have a crack on goal. Ferrino did have the angle covered, and the referee felt like he did not get a touch.
Well, both Lauria and Barbie predominantly left-footed. They can be such a weapon in the final third because really everything's backwards for the defender. And Devon, being a lefty yourself, I'm sure you can attest to that, that there's a subtle advantage.
It's very difficult. Your mind's always, not always, but regularly shifted in one direction. You're always pushing him away from goal, shielding things to that right foot to try and capitalize on the angle. You really want to close things off there. Again, it's not always about speed and power, just an angular game at times. When you get someone with a left foot, especially when you don't know it's coming at you, in this day and age, there's video all over the place. So you should know the scouting report, exactly what Jack Barbie is bringing to the table, as well as Marvin Lauria. But it's still very difficult. Keeps your mind guessing, and this game moves 100 miles an hour. Things always changing. The game plan fluctuating, and you're trying to second guess what's the second move, what's the third move. Sometimes you forget exactly what's right in front of you.
Nathan Smith getting forward again. Second or third time we've seen him do this in the second half. But not the first time we've seen that kind of delivery. Fans, the Southern Nevada Water Authority reminds you that fall mandatory watering restrictions are in effect. Change your watering clock to 3 assigned days a week. Visit changeyourclock.com to find your mandatory watering schedule. Kobayashi shielded off by Zambrano, somehow gets a big toe in there. And Ochoa is offside. And a roll all the way back for Mangels. T2 down a goal, 68th minute, but patient. And right on cue, give the ball away.
There's a good look at the technical director, El Chalice, in the distance, stalking the sideline. A penny for a thought with what's going on in his mind right now.
Quebecia, cool head to find Kobayashi in the middle of the park. On the turn. Closed down quickly by Arboleda, who's been a spark plug since coming on. At halftime, Frangiano, Dizpay has to go back. Ochoa was a longer stud away from getting a touch to that. Nathan Smith, Barbie. Andre Lewis. It was a good idea for Marvin Lauria to try to find Arboleda. Ochoa Ochoa wrapped up with Gaddama. Somehow able to keep it using that big frame, and the foul's going to go against Sammy Ochoa. Now that is not what I expected to see. T2 trying to play quickly, but it's going to be a yellow card issued for dissent to Eric Avila. Might have been an elbow we didn't see, but Devon, from our vantage point in real time.
Even though he's going in the other direction here, there's two things going on. Number one, it shouldn't have been a foul, except for the fact that when the referee steps over, as the play starts to come the other direction, Sammy Ochoa, you can see him grab the shirt and just overextends himself. Still shouldn't have been a foul. There's no reason for the referee to blow the whistle.
I was going to say, in those types of situations, when you have the offensive player shielding off the defender, there's always shirt grabbing involved.
And the problem for him is there's the two-step where you get that window where it just opens up. You can see the arm overextended. The referee saw it as well, and that's why he blew the whistle. Not necessarily Sammy Ochoa's fault.
And now Matthew Franz dishing out yellow cards like Vegas were dishing out cash a week ago. As Ochoa shown mustard in the 72nd. I think I still saw a couple dollar bills floating around Cashman.
Nice little neighborly welcome from Sammy Ochoa as Renzo Zambrano gets rocked to the ground. It's always polite to introduce yourself.
Here's Arboleda. There's the equalizer for T2. They caught Las Vegas napping, and the second half substitute, Victor Arboleda, draws T2 level here at Cashman. 19 minutes remaining, 1-1.
It can happen that fast with Victor Arboleda. On the restart, ball just knocked into the mixer. How about Dizpay? Gets that flick over the back, the Colombian in behind the back line. Oof. Just picks out that far post, gets his 7th on the year. And now you wonder, what's the response from the home squad? We've seen this so many times from Las Vegas Lights, where they have not been able to hold a lead, and the visitors have been able to bring themselves back into a match. They've done it on the road, they've done it at home. If you're a C. George Sanchez and El Chalice, you are having a scary case of deja vu.
We resume at 1-1. Arboleda came on at halftime. It was very much an offensive substitution with Anguiano more so hovering around the middle third of the field. Arboleda has been nothing but busy in the attacking third, being a nuisance along that Las Vegas back line. And you could sense it was going to be Arboleda, Lauria, or perhaps even Langsdorff that was going to finally break down the Las Vegas defensive door. Kobayashi. Arboleda with his 7th goal of the season. It's the next highest total in that department for T2. Foster Langsdorff with 14. And Arboleda with 7 goals in only 13 appearances. Here's Langsdorff trying to turn the corner. How's that for a challenge from Juan Herrera Perla? And Inigo, who's been waiting for probably about 5 minutes time, is finally going to come on. And Rafael Garcia saying, it's not me who's getting substituted off. Wiki just getting stretched out. Carlos Alvarez actually motioning that Wiki needs a sub, and it was originally going to be Garcia subbed off, but now with this recent development, they're going to have to change their strategy.
Wiki gets himself caught up, and you can see right there, just overextend himself right away, pointing to that leg of his. Surprised Foster Langsdorff doesn't cut that ball back. Kind of telegraphed the challenge coming his direction.
I'll tell you what, terrific camera work from our crew, as well as our director, Gage Tillotson, able to catch the injury and the sliding challenge all in one picture.
You could just see Corey Jeffries on the bottom of your screen motioning to the sideline. That Wiki will need a substitution. So Rafael Garcia is going to be saved by the whistle. He will not be coming off. It's going to be Wiki. And you have to wonder now, are they still going to go with Inigo? Most assuredly, as he is a center back primarily.
Meanwhile, T2 with a very good chance for the set piece now. Things just going from bad to way worse for Las Vegas. With Wiki going down, Marvin Lauria standing over this free kick.
People at home always wonder what it's like to be in the mind of. There's a good look at exactly what Lauria's dealing with.
Lauria straight into the wall. He'll be able to collect, though. Lauria trying to beat Ferrino at the near post, but it was never going to happen.
Never enough here from Marvin Lauria. First one right into the wall. Second trailing even further behind with his actions. That was one of my favorite things. One of my trainers growing up as a youth would always tell me, the first free kick that we got, no matter what, pound it right into the wall. I used to always get myself in trouble with that because, I mean, it's easier said than done. You get a strike 20 yards out of the top of the box and you just want me to hit it into the wall. But it makes them second guess. You get guys that'll start flinching and
they're not going to want to go in the wall the second time.
No, and you see guys that'll jump as well or they'll turn because they're afraid. So it's always one of the fun ones.
Putting in crunching tackles and, as you like to call it, breaking legs isn't enough for you. You also have to use the ball in order to inflict injury upon the opponent.
Absolutely. You've actually met someone, I'm not going to name his name, but you've met someone who was a goalkeeper. And during one of our training sessions, I had a through ball played into me. And I hit one from right about the top of the 18. It caught him off guard and he was flat-footed. I hit him in his chest. Cracked one of his ribs, sent him to the hospital. And he had the imprint of a Select soccer ball, why I love Select so much, on his chest.
Avila putting on the moves. Avila towards the byline, trying to get the delivery away, but it travels over the line. And a goal kick coming up. And just so you know, folks, Devon had the biggest smile while telling that story. So I'm sure fracturing one of his friends' chest bones brings you so much joy.
So much pleasure.
Like the toddler who simply won't share the soccer ball with his friends. Quebecia having it ripped away from his hands by Foster Langsdorff, and as a result, being shown mustard here in the 79th minute. And those are just the silly yellow cards that could end up coming to bite Vegas in the rear end heading down the stretch.
We've seen it multiple times this year. There's no reason for him to do this. It's not like he's trying to do some sort of professional foul where his team doesn't have numbers behind the ball. Everybody's there. They're very well organized. Just drop it and move on.
There's a look at Quebecia, who's done an excellent job tonight, who's battled through a couple of knocks and bruises. '80th minute. Raul Mendiola's goal would not hold up Victor Arboleda, scoring the equalizer in the 72nd minute. The assist from Dizpay, of all people. Well, what a week it's been for center backs assisting on goals. Paco Craig had 2 assists for Louisville City FC in what should have been 3 points for John Hackworth's side in his biggest road test since taking over for James O'Connor. Giving up 2 goals in the last 5 minutes of play and drawing Bob Lilly's Pittsburgh Riverhounds 2-2. Zambrano looking to create on the counter, also looking to use his pace. He's got plenty of it. Zambrano knocks it across. No trailing run for T2. Nothing cute about that run, Devon. Speed kills.
Renzo Zambrano just turning on the afterburners once he progressed over a halfway point. Never looked back. Very impressive from the Venezuelan. Nice service to the back post as well. Just a tad behind the trailing run.
Very first bobblehead night in Lights history takes place on Saturday, September 29th. The first 5,000 fans will receive the limited edition Cash the Soccer Rocker bobblehead. Get tickets today at lightsfc.com/September. Couldn't give Dottie the nod for the bobblehead?
No love.
She needs better representation.
Agreed. Dolly and Dottie got my nod for the midseason awards best mascot. Although I'm sure
who was also in the running?
It was just them.
It was just
Cash was in there as well.
Cash was in there.
Got to give the nod.
You didn't have like nominees running through your head.
Ziggy the Ram.
Ziggy the Goat.
Ziggy the Goat. You always say Ziggy the Goat. I'm a big fan of Leo the Lion from the Real Monarchs, the Real Salt Lake organization.
What about Phoenix Rising? Time for a mascot? Freddy the Firebird?
Does it have to be alliteration or no?
I'm just
a lot of times
throwing the alliteration out there.
Finny.
Finny?
Finny the Phoenix. Yes.
And Finny has sentimental meaning for Devon. His eldest of two dogs, Vishal, is named Finny.
Eldest. He's 2 years old.
He's the eldest, is he not?
He's a god. Dog can do no wrong.
He's a human.
Human.
Meanwhile, corner coming up for T2. 1-1, 83rd minute. Quietly, they found their way back into this match. Lauria on top of the corner, in swinger. Towards the back post is Pay. Stays in play. Carlos Alvarez encouraged forward. Lauria tracking him down nicely, forcing Alvarez to get off the ball. Here's Mendiola. Haven't called his name in a while. Almost at the back giveaway. Mendiola trying to make the most of it. Gaddama has to go to ground. Kobayashi also in the neighborhood. How good has Zambrano been weaving his way out of trouble? Here's Lauria again. Slipping it through. Langsdorff onside. Knocks it across. Zambrano. There it is for T2. Down 1-0. Now up 2-1. Zambrano straight over to the bench. And Cameron knows his side with a terrific response here in Sin City. It's the skipper, the Venezuelan Zambrano, making it 2-1 in the 84th.
You could see it going the other direction. As soon as Las Vegas Lights could not capitalize in their own final third, Timbers 2 said, okay, thank you very much, our turn. They start going the other direction. They go with pace, they go with power. Zambrano showed it off just a few short moments ago. He gets in again, just makes this run to the back post, trailing in succession behind the overlapping on the right side. Great ball in, and the captain able to finish it off. What a swan song it could be for the Venezuelan.
Well, we talked about Zambrano being an unsung hero. His name will most certainly be sung in the Portland Timbers 2 camp tonight. As Herrera, Perla, and Ochoa run into each other. Good work to keep it in play. Lauria dinking it through. Look at the pace from Arboleda. One more delivery. Ferrino this time making the most of coming off his line. We got a little bit of role reversal this time around, Devon, with T2 being the ones who equalized and would end up losing on July 22nd back in Providence. And now it could very well be a 2-1 win for T2 here at Cashman, as it'll be a set piece for Las Vegas from about 27.5 yards out. And some jawing between Sammy Ochoa and Foster Langsdorff. Kobayashi and Alvarez trying to decide who will take the honor. Alvarez just dinks it over the top. Still loose. Mangel skies above the rest and able to hang on to it.
Excellent goalkeeping. This is what you want. You make your line right in front of you, make up your mind, go up and get it, reach the apex, and just put both hands onto it, come to ground, tuck it in securely. Ricardo Ferrino was impressive a moment ago when he stepped out and got both hands on the ball, but he actually got away with one. He comes out, possesses it, goes to ground and tucks it, then rolls it in front of him and picks it back up.
And that's not the first time we've seen that this season.
No.
It happened in a Phoenix game a couple of months ago, and it went completely unnoticed. I'll be very impressed if you can remember who Phoenix was playing on that night.
What's today?
September?
Was it Fabian Serta? It was Fabian Serta, huh? Wow, look at that. High five. I like.
One back by Barbie. T2 looking for an insurance goal. But Jake from State Farm nowhere to be found. Alvarez. Slides it across. Shot from distance. Well, it intrigued Mangels just a little bit, as well as the supporters right behind the T2 keeper. And Inigo, who came on for Joel Huiki just a few moments ago.
Watch the last second by Barbie coming in to close things down. Gets a late-minute challenge right on that back shoulder to help push this ball wide of the post.
Juan Herrera, Perla. Arboleda. He could very well be man of the match for me.
And only half a shift.
Here's Lauria the other way. Ferrino off of his line. Lauria to the byline, knocks it across. Nobody there for T2. That time he elected to try to take the touch around Ferrino as opposed to electing to chip it over him like he did in the first half after he made a mess of that opportunity. Andre Lewis just corralling it into the channel. Raul Mendiola gets there. And fans, the inaugural Copa Lights 7v7 adult soccer tournament takes place September 21st through 23rd at Cashman Field. Play where the pros play. Registration today at lightsfc.com. And also remember, after every home game, join us at Plaza Hotel for the official post-game party featuring your Las Vegas Lights. Come talk soccer and share your game ticket tonight, and your first drink is free. And Marvin Lauria, probably not the best decision, Devon.
What are you doing? I mean, the first half, you could go either way. You just don't execute. That's fine. This one had to be a chip. It had to be knocked on goal almost immediately. But Ferrino, you could see the conversation between Roberto Inigo and Ricardo Ferrino just changing places. Interesting, because Inigo had a step with Lauria. Lauria's got blazing speed, though.
Vegas win it back. Miscommunication between Quebecia and Herrera Perla. And the foul on the ladder.
He takes one just below the waist on this challenge. It's going to leave a mark.
Well, what a start to the three-game road swing it would be for T2 after being down 1-0 at the start of the match, when it looked very bleak in the opening 10 minutes. Arboleda the flick, the offside flag goes up, but T2 slowly but surely milking the clock for what it's worth. Nodded forward, Kobayashi being asked a lot. And being asked too much at the end of the day. As Mendiola slow to get up in the middle of the park. Pass cut out by Lauria. Weaving his way out of trouble again. Lewis just pokes it over for Barbie. And that Orange County Fresno game full time, 1-0 for OCSC at Chuck Chansey. A massive result for Braden Cloutier's side. And they now take full control of first place in the Western Conference on 57 points. Phoenix on 56, Monarchs on 54. But Phoenix and the Monarchs both with the game in hand on Orange County. And the game-winning goal scored in the 84th by Noah Powder. And that's going to do it full time from Cashman Field. A disappointing result for Las Vegas Lights FC after going up 1-0 in the 4th minute. Equalized by Victor Arboleda, and then the captain, Victor Zambrano, after a really unselfish play from Foster Langsdorff, scoring the game winner in the 84th minute. What a response from Cameron Knowles' side at the start of this three-game road swing. Devin Kerr, your thoughts?
Lights out. There you go. They're going to have their fireworks to show off for their fans and show their appreciation, but Groundhog's Day for Isidro Sanchez and El Chalice.
Well, we'll step aside as the fireworks are set off here at Cashman Field. 2-1 is the final score in favor of the visitors, Portland Timbers 2. We're heading to the post-game show. Don't go anywhere.
Las Vegas Lights take on Portland Timbers 2, Sunday, September 16th at 8 p.m.
Brought down, shot, ripped in!
Join us at Cashman Field or tune in for all the action on MyLV TV, Channel 21, Cable 12.
Jumbar! Jumbar! You can do it!
I got drive like I work with Uber. Yeah, cooking like Curry, so respect the shoot. Your heart may harden the way I maneuver.
John. I'll do anything to sell you a car.
Universal helped me eliminate my electric utility bill.
Call today and get the lifetime monitoring and maintenance package included. Own your system. Don't lease. Call Universal Solar Direct. 702-710-1921. That's 702-710-1921.
What is Zappos? Allow us to introduce ourselves. We're your one-stop shop for shoes, clothing, handbags, and a whole lot more. Simply put, Zappos is you, and we're here for you 24/7. Whether you need the latest and greatest in footwear or a new piece of luggage, we'll always ship it fast and free. Add to that free returns and a 1-year return policy, and you'll be set for a worry-free shopping adventure. So let us help deliver happiness to your front door. Shop on Zappos.com today.
Celebrations in Sin City, an appreciation for the fans being shown, but the celebrations not a result of the result. Las Vegas Lights FC falling by a score of 2-1. We'll take a look at how it all went down. Tyler Terrence along with Devyn Kerr. Glad to have had you with us. And if for some strange, bizarre reason you're just joining us, we'll help you out a little bit with the full-time highlights. Raul Mendiola, 4th minute, his 7th of the season. It looked good for Vegas.
We've seen it before. I'm sure we'll see it again. Unfortunately for Vegas, they couldn't replicate it over the course of 90 minutes, but they get out early. They show that high tempo, high press. That has been so impressive. But how many opportunities did they waste? T2, they followed suit. They did the same thing. Marvin Lauria twice in the first half. This one on the chip to the far post. He would get another opportunity where some questionable decision-making by Ricardo Ferrino would drop something on the doorstep. This was an impressive one. I like the ball movement off the set piece. Unfortunately, Mendiola gets caught in an offside position. Trailing run by Garduno. They don't count it.
So the goal would be null and void. Meanwhile, T2 on the other end, Dispay just moments later denied by Ferrino.
Dispay on the first one. Gaddama would have an opportunity as well. Number 26 going to get in on the act, and you kind of got that feeling, okay, Vegas has let these opportunities slip away. Is T2 going to do the same thing? Are they really not going to be able to close anything out? Carlos Alvarez would make the switch from left back to start moving up a higher line once they brought in Juan Herrera Perla, but T2 would continuously knock on the door. Second ball's in, third ball's played to the back post. They would just continue to persevere time and time again. And then the substitute, number 19, Victor Arboleda, was beyond impressive in the closing 45 minutes, gets the goal.
His 7th goal of the season, showing off his change of speed. And then late in the game, last 10 minutes, Langsdorff, Zambrano, lights out.
Langsdorff hasn't found net in 3 games. Now, it was 2, but at least he can help from a supporting standpoint. Zambrano coming out of the middle of the midfield in that holding midfield position. Great run to the back post. Excellent service by Langsdorff. Great win on the road by T2.
Well, the good news for Las Vegas Lights FC is that their next match is a big one. Everybody's had it circled on their calendar. The final installment of the Silver State Cup. They will be at Reno trying to exact revenge against Antoine Opano, who devastated them in the final milliseconds of stoppage time, the last time they were over in their cross-state rivals' territory. As it was an entertaining 90 minutes, to say the least, between Las Vegas Lights FC and Portland Timbers 2, but it's Cameron Knowles' young, eager, and impressive side who come away with just that, an impressive 2-1 result on the road. Zambrano, the skipper, with the game winner late. Arboleda with the equalizer. Mendiola's goal in the 4th would not be enough. For our outstanding crew and my broadcast partner, Devyn Kerr, I'm Tyler Terrence saying so long for now. Final score, T2 2, Las Vegas 1. We'll talk to you soon.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.